switch to this. This is Diablo 4. Do this now to get ahead for Season 1. So we'll go ahead and jump into
A very
this.
big conversation right now, and I have previously explained how the seasons will work, but in this video what we're going to do is explain what you can do right now to prepare yourself in advance for seasons, as there are some things that will carry over. Keep in mind for Season 1, any of the legendary items, things you acquire, things in your stash, and characters you have created will not come with you. So while there are things that we can do to be prepared.
So my understanding is that basically it's a clean slate for your character. You make a new character for Season 1. Your old characters that you have are still there. Nothing changes with them, but they're on a different like realm or different world. So it'd be great to dive in to see sort of what the actual changes will be. Again, sort of, you lose everything in your stash. You don't lose it. It stays with your eternal realm. But then you're essentially starting from scratch. So yeah.
Don't expect your character to be with you, and you will be making a new one. Also, this was not correctly explained by me in the previous video, but your character will not be deleted. It will remain on the standard server you are already playing, so you don't actually lose anything when the season comes out.
That'd be so
you
bad
can
if they
continue
did.
to play the
they
game
did
and
that.
completely ignore seasons if you choose. Also, any of the characters you create will go back to the main server, aka where your characters are right now. All of your seasonal characters will be transferred to that server at the end of each season. So both the characters you've created now as well as the characters you created in the seasons, they never get deleted. The work's not lost. You can still use them. All right, now to the point of what can we actually accomplish now. The first thing to keep in mind is the map.
One other thing is I don't think you have to even participate in the seasons. You can, when you create a new character, you decide if it's going to be in the Eternal Realm, which is non-season, and then or if you want it in whatever the season happens to be, seasonal character. So you don't actually have to start over from scratch. There are the choices between, playing the Eternal Realm or playing the season. And then if you play the Eternal, you have access to your stash and everything else that is normal with your regular characters.
Map. Everything that you have uncovered, this is a new mechanic for the seasons. It's not the way the current new characters work, but when the seasons come, this will be different. Everything that you can see that you've already unlocked will go with you to the new season. So one of the very first things we want to do is make sure we unlock as much as the map of possible. That way, when we start our new seasonal character, we can actually see where all the waypoints are that we're going to need to unlock.
That's one thing
now,
I
you
need
can
to
also
do
see
still.
there are the altars of Lilith that are floating around. These are going to transfer with you, including the stats that come with that. For instance, if I log on to my level 1 character to show you, these are the bonus stats you can expect when the new season comes. Look at this. I have 68, 68, 68, and 68. So you will get plus 68 stats across the board if you make sure to go and collect all of the altars of Lilith. You can see the map is covered here currently. All of the uncovered map from your main character, whatever you've uncovered the most, will transfer going into the season. So you don't actually have to re-uncover this map like you have to on a new character that is different. So there's some very obvious synergy of run around the map, unlock the map in its entirety, and get all of the altars of Lilith while you're doing that. That's the first two things we probably want to do, and that can be done very early in the game. As soon as you have the horse from Act 4, you can go start accomplishing this. Now, there's actually a secondary reason that doesn't just have to do with the raw.
For the altars of Lilith, they're really tricky to find, but there are guides online. I'll probably be using it. I'll probably have a separate stream where I'll unlock all of them, because I've only unlocked maybe 3 or so. I've completed the campaign. I'm at almost level 60, and I still haven't done a lot of the Lilith altars. So definitely check online if you haven't done that. Check online for optimal routes. There's a bunch of maps I know online for how to quickly go about and unlock all the altars, and so I'll be doing that myself. But I know that it's really important because it does buff all of your stats eventually. Once you get them all, and that's for every character in your realm. So that's just super beneficial for any new character starting. So the fact that this carries over for season 1 will be really strong. And I didn't know that before. I think there's been some confusion in terms of the discussions regarding this. So glad to hear that that is now sort of confirmed.
A stat bonus, but the way renown is going to work in the seasons is you see how you get renown for all of these different things here. You get renown for waypoints, strongholds, side quests, areas discovered, side dungeons, and altars. When the new season comes, you will keep all of the renown from the altar of Lilith. So that will be 280 renown in fractured peaks, 330 in dry steppes. That's 340 there in
Wow,
Hauser.
that's
Then
amazing.
Kazakhstan is 310. I'm sure I'm butchering his name. And Skazglin here is 340. So you'll keep all of that renown, but also the areas discovered renown you will keep as well, because again, the map will be uncovered. And so for that reason, you want to make sure that you double down and do these. Now, the difference in waypoints is going to be significant. If you notice here,
So just going back real quick to that point, having altars of Lilith and areas discovered, that's, was that 100, or a little bit over 100 points, and I think that's what you need for the first level of renown. So I think that's like an automatic. If you have all that, that's an automatic +5 skill points. So again, that's just early game. That's going to be super strong, along with all the buffs from the altars of Lilith, or the skill points from, or not, sorry, not skill points, ability points. Is that the right term? For altars of Lilith. That's just really impressive, or yeah, really strong. Actually, yeah. So 5 times 70, and then 10 times 30. So either way, that you're just gonna be miles ahead of someone who hasn't done this, which I haven't. I've maybe gotten most of the map. I have most of the map and maybe a few altars of Lilith. So definitely something I need to work on.
now, the difference in waypoints is going to be significant. If you notice here, I have all these waypoints, and all of these waypoints are bonus renown as well. But if we jump on the new character, we've only got waypoints in the major cities. This is going to mirror the seasons. So we're only going to have the same amount of small waypoints, even though the map is fully uncovered. What that means is when it comes to the renown, you will also have your waypoint additional renown from just the base waypoints. You can see I've got 1 in each of these, and then we have 2 in Howitzer here. And so you're only going to be getting a small amount of renown for that. Because of this, you're still going to need to grind the renown, which means you will be needing to do the codexes. Again, you need to be picking up the other waypoints, doing your strongholds, side missions, etc. And because side quests can be very annoying to find, we don't have a side quest journal yet. This is another reason to run around and uncover the entire map while you can. It's also probably a good time to figure out both what your favorite class is, as well as what build you want to do, and start actually figuring out the competitive nature of the build you're going to want to do. Keep in mind, I have seen this often confused. People will ask me, what's the best class to play for season 1? What class should I play that will give me an advantage? Keep in mind, you don't get an advantage by playing a different class. I know a lot of people probably don't know how leaderboards work for these types of games, but you're competing within your class. So like I, as a druid, am not necessarily competing against the barbarian leaderboard. If I pick a druid, I'm competing against other druids. So you can still play whatever class you want. You don't need to feel like pressured to play the meta class, okay? But because of that, I do actually highly recommend to go try each of the classes and see which one you find the most appealing, or maybe use the season.
I'll probably well, actually he might be saying this, but honestly, I've only played Necromancer up until this point, up until like just prior to season 1, and I was going to just use the seasons to essentially play other classes. I'm more of a casual player in terms of how many hours I dedicate to the game. So yeah, I'll probably just be using the season to try out new classes. I'm not super into the leaderboards. I mean, I know some people are, and great if you are. But yeah, I'll be doing sort of more experimentation, and not caring so much about leaderboards. But there's a lot of new content that they're rolling out for season 1, so I'm looking forward to that.
To try a new class, but I would look into each of the classes a little bit in advance to know what you're dealing with. At the end here, I will have it as a end card where you can click and see how the Diablo 4 seasons actually work. So if you're curious in what new content is actually coming to the seasons and what you can expect in terms of actual gameplay, I have that broken down. But if you want to know what to do now to be prepared for the seasons, that's about all there is you can do to be prepared.
Hello and welcome.
Cool. That's start auto playing. Cool. That was really informative. I'm glad we were able to take a look into that. It's 2 days before season 1 drops, but I think this knowledge will be useful for any of the new seasons going forward. You know, just in terms of areas revealed and stuff like that. But once you have that, I'm pretty sure uh, you know, you're not gonna have to grind for that again, or you know, explore the whole map again. But yeah, so I think that was pretty useful. Pretty useful.